Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-10. That's what I get for running down the hallway so fast. But DZ didn't bring me no water. I've been asking DZ for water for 2 days. Well, I mean, if you're going to lie about it, at least make it, big enough for people to go, wow, really? Well, actually, that's not true. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. We're live from the American Family Insurance Studio at Radio City. I got to catch my breath now. So I'm going to just take the rest of the segment and catch my breath because I was ripping and running. Because, you get tired. And I wonder how many people actually do that. But we'll talk about that later. I digress. Why? Because I'm a little peeved. Saw this great thing today. And I'm trying to figure out, well, let me just say it like this. Life as we know it is over. So the world has changed. And like nobody told Black people. Oh, wait a minute. They did. They actually telegraphed it. At places like UWM, for instance. There's a story on Fox6News.com that says in just 1 year, 2 UW Milwaukee students died from fentanyl overdoses. Now UWM officials on yesterday announced Narcan has been made available in boxes all across the UWM campuses. It's an overdose reversal medication. The new boxes could help save lives, which is always what people say. Now, I am very empathetic and very sympathetic to those who have lost lives with people who have struggled with opioid abuse and have struggled with drug abuse. And for whatever reason, came across fentanyl, overdosed, or just overdosed on their own and passed away. I feel for them. I feel for their families. It's a travesty that they lost their lives and that they're not going to be with their families anymore. I got that. I just wish they could have done more when Black people were going through the same issue. And before you think it's different, it'll save our lives, there's a significant number of Black people who overdose from heroin and fentanyl. The problem is the majority of them don't look like me. And so where's all the love and the humanity and the support when black people were on crack. You locked them up. If I go to that same school at UWM, I would get in trouble for being intoxicated, using alcohol or marijuana. They're both legal and illegal in some instances. But if it's an opioid overdose, you actually put something on. So let me paint the picture. If you came back to campus and you were intoxicated, would I put a PBT machine in the UWM residence hall that you could blow into it so you could tell whether or not you're intoxicated and whether or not you need to call an ambulance or get help? The same choice you made to drink alcohol is the same choice you made to use drugs. And there are instances where people get addicted because they're on medication, and they get addicted to the medication because of a sports injury or some other injury or arthritis, Prince and other people. I get it, Michael Jackson. I get it. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the ones that came out with the naloxone boxes, where you find 2 doses of Narcan nasal spray, and it's open to the public. But then the police chief, David Salazar, makes it clear, we don't condone drug or alcohol use, but want to promote education and prevention. What happened to the education and prevention of all the other people who died from, crack, cocaine? Oh, wait a minute. That didn't reach the Wow counties the way it reached. Yeah, okay. My bad, I'm sorry. I guess if you lived in a Wow county, you could just get in a car and come to Milwaukee and get drugs. And then everybody in Milwaukee blames drugs on Chicago, and it goes from there. One person said, I know that it's very prevalent because you hear cases of it that happen to classmates all around you. Really? And I get it. I'm not against it. But then they put a statement that says fentanyl drug overdoses are a problem nationwide. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner said year to date, there have been 348 confirmed drug overdose deaths, 15% higher than last year. Well, and then I started to wonder. And so I looked at the county demographics, and roughly, that doesn't have an exact number here for whatever reason. I don't understand why. But in 2021, whites were, I can't tell if it's over 300. I don't know if the line is the line at the top of the box or it's 300, but let's just pick a random number, right? That's close enough. 300. A little bit less in 2020, but blacks went from a little over 200, maybe 230, 240, and in 2020, they were around 175. That's all of Milwaukee County. It's interesting to me because it doesn't look like other people are dying in huge droves from illegal drug use. But yet we've had the state with Scott Walker actually change the law so that if you call 911 and help a person if they're overdosing, then you don't get to go to jail. You get a pass. Really? And I know it's different in some instances, but you understand my point. So if I'm on campus and I overdose, the state of Wisconsin will not prosecute the person that calls 911 or gives you Narcan. Now I can just get it on campus. And if the person never goes to the doctor, you have no idea that you had an overdose on campus. I find that interesting. But one of the reasons I find it interesting, and this is no disrespect to the UW system, but if UW Milwaukee spent more time graduating people, they probably wouldn't have a problem with drugs to begin with. Black and African American graduation rate for 2020 After 6 years, not 6 months, 6 years, the African-American graduation rate is 24.2%. That's a travesty. That's a travesty because 25.8% of Black people that went to school over a 6-year period didn't graduate. But don't get it twisted. For white, it's 50.4. If you spend less time virtue signaling with people that look like you and actually worked on your graduation rate, it's amazing the education you could put into it and stop people from doing drugs altogether. But what do? We pay more attention to little boxes around that'll save people's lives. And it's true, they will save people's lives. I don't take that away. But at some point, we have to understand you're trying to fix something where the majority of people that are dying are white. My community is trying to fix something where the majority of people that are dying are Black. The question I have is, why are white people so dead set against decriminalizing marijuana, but they've effectively decriminalized fentanyl testing and put Narcan machines in schools? You know, just in case you overdose, we got something for you. So let me get this. If I use alcohol and go to campus, I'm suspended or expelled. If I use marijuana on campus, I'm suspended or expelled. But if I overdose on heroin with fentanyl, it's decriminalized and you add machines on campus. And to top it off, the public can go on campus and use it as well. So you may not even find it on campus, which I just find that's just bizarre. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Arrested and kicked out of school for alcohol and marijuana, mushrooms, all kind of stuff. So what do we tell people who overdose on heroin? Hey, we got you, player. Yep. But then again, it dawned on me. I forgot a simple rule. It's 2022. Diversity, equity, and inclusion now includes white people too. Because we all forgot what we knew before the George Floyd death. White lives matter.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it is Denise